I'd like to call the Plan Commission meeting for Monday, September 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to order. Roll call, please.
Yes, Cronin,
Here.
Sagami is excused. Weston,
Here.
Gert,
Here.
Hoffman,
Present.
Gordon,
Here.
Mumper is excused.
All right, number two, open public comment period for items that do not appear on this agenda noted as public hearings. I have a public comment form here from Jim Pincinel for items 7 and 8, and I assume you want to speak on the agenda items, correct?
I do.
Okay. Any other public comments on anything that's not listed on the agenda as a public hearing? Second time, any comments? Third time, any comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 3, written communications, disclosures and recusals. Members of the body should make any required disclosures or recusals during this time. Do we have any? No? Any written communications?
The two written communications that we received were put in the packet for the two items. There were two separate items. We can discuss that during that. I do believe number 5, that Commissioner Hoffman, that's his property, so he'll have to recuse himself from that discussion.
No, yes, correct. Thank you. Number 4, minutes from August 11th, 2025 meeting.
Move to acknowledge as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion by Deason, seconded by Hoffman. On the question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Item number 5, unfinished business, project number 2025-0242, conditional use permit request at 5605 Mesker Street to allow for a light industrial land use within property zoned B3 general business and a salt storage bin within the WHPA Wellhead Protection Zone A overlay district. Who has this one?
So the hearing was held back in July, and there was some information that was missing originally. They did not have their final plans for the salt storage shed that they would be using on site. And so there were some concerns with that, yet with the wellhead protection district that needed to be sorted out, including some drainage on how the water was going to drain in the parking lot. They got that information to us late in August, so we were able to bring this back through. Michael was able to review, and he is okay with what they are proposing. They will still need to get someone to do the environmental assessment that is required. So they will still have to have that or provide somebody to sign off on that. That has not been provided yet. So the original performance standards that we went through back in July still pertain for the project. They do have a chain link fence. If you go to page 18 of the packet, there's a requirement for the storage area to be screened. So they would need to provide some necessary screening. That could be slats that are added to the fence. And then the other one would be to provide that documentation, environmental impact study or an environmental assessment that is prepared and received at time of building permit. So they have met what we had requested. I do have the options for Plan Commission action listed starting on page 21. That includes 8 conditions that would be put onto the draft conditional use permit that I included in there. And number 9 on there would be if there's any additional conditions that the Plan Commission sees fit to add after reviewing the material. So staff is recommending approval based off of adding those conditions to the conditional use permit. And there is the determination that the plan commission would need to go through prior to issuing that conditional use permit. Also, that starts on page 20.
Plan commission, anybody have any comments, questions, concerns?
I was just wondering, with the environmental part of it, where are you at with that?
So for the environmental study, is that just,
Whoever's online, can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
oh, yep, sorry. This is Nick Tekel. I'm representing Turf MDs here at 5605 Mesker Street.
Thank you.
Yep. For the environmental study I thought I received feedback that was waived since we moved the location of the storage bin. Is that still needed just for the general conditional use permitting application?
Yes.
Okay. The one issue I have with that is the prior owners were an auto body shop, and previous to us operating here, they had a lot of older vehicles just sitting in the yard in the lot for a long time. And with us, just kind of getting in here, I don't know if that would have any effect or anything on that environmental impact study, or if that's just completely irrelevant.
There was a phase one done on it prior to boosters being in it. Already.
So if you have that, and if somebody could just verify that those conditions are still accurate and relevant, I guess that's really if just updating what has already been provided would be good. Yes, yeah.
Nick, I'll work with you on that.
Sounds good.
What was that?
He said, sounds good.
Okay.
So it's my understanding then that the environmental and impact study will still be taken care of.
Correct, yeah.
Correct. Okay. And just so you're aware, that is one of the, I think Jen mentioned there's 8 conditions, that this approval is going to be privy to. That is one of the conditions, is that environmental impact study is done as well.
Is that this Gary calling or butting in here, sorry. Is that just a considered, Jen, is that environmental one with like a phase one?
I guess I'd have to look at and review what was submitted previously before Woosters was in there, just to make sure that there's nothing else that we'd want them to cover.
Sure, okay.
If they can provide what they have, we can give them guidance on if that's sufficient or if there's something else that we would be looking for.
Okay. I wasn't sure that that impact study was like a phase one or not, Michael. That's why I was questioning the terminology on it. That's all.
Sure, yeah, and I think our zoning code kind of has it generically, and in the industry, it's spoken in other terms, so I'll make sure that we get what we're looking for to ensure that the protection of the groundwater next to the wells there.
All right, I appreciate it. And I wasn't trying to be difficult. I was just trying to make sure that we were talking about the same things. I think it's like pretty much you just look at history and stuff, and if there's not any impacts, they're not out there doing any drilling or checking or whatever it may be, they do more of a historical and report on that.
Yeah, correct.
All right, anybody else from planning have any other questions, comments, or concerns? If there's no other comments, we'll move through the determination, which can be found on page 20 in the packet. So, oh, excuse me. Number 1, is the proposed conditional use consistent with the comprehensive plan, this chapter, and all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village? Yes. Number 2, the proposed conditional use in its proposed location and as depicted on the required site plan will not result in a substantial or undue adverse impact on nearby property, the character of the neighborhood, environmental factors, traffic factors, parking, public improvements, public property or rights of way, or other matters affecting the public health, safety, or general welfare, either as they now exist or as they may in the future be developed as a result of the implementation of the provisions of this chapter, the comprehensive plan, or all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village.
Yes.
Yes. Number 3, does the proposed conditional use maintain the desired consistency of land uses, land use intensities, and land use impacts as related to the environs of the subject property?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 4, is the proposed conditional use located in an area that will be adequately served by and will not impose an undue burden on any of the improvements, facilities, utilities, or services provided by public agencies serving the subject property? Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, do the potential public benefits of the proposed conditional use outweigh potential adverse impacts of the proposed conditional use after taking into consideration the applicant's proposal and any requirements recommended by the applicant to ameliorate such impacts?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion if anybody would care to make one.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented with the 8 bullet points, as staff has recommended.
So we have a motion by Deason. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is that second? Is that Gerndt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have a motion by Deason, seconded by Gerndt. On the question. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. And then Secretary Parker, if you could make sure you note that Travis Hoffman took his seat during that agenda item, please, and is now taking a seat back at the table. All right, moving on, item number 6, public hearing, project number 20250311. Conditional use permit request at 9805 Sand Hill Drive to allow for the construction of a 1,200 square foot detached accessory structure for residential use within the SFS Single Family Residential Small Lot zoning district, where the maximum allowed accessory building size within the SFS district is 1,000 square feet. I'll open the public hearing. Presentation by the applicant and or village staff.
You want this one? So this is a detached structure that they want to go 1,200 square feet. The allowance is 1,000, so they're applying for 1,400 because they do have a detached structure already on the property, which will be decreased, either removed or decreased to a yard shed, so they will not exceed the mounted structures per property for a single family small. So they're just looking to increase the square footage for just the square footage to accommodate both structures.
So if I'm hearing that correctly, the accessory structure they have currently is going to be reduced
Yes.
or
To be under 200.
or
square
just
feet.
eliminated so
Yes.
that it'll still only be 1,000 square feet, correct?
No, it'll be so there's the existing structure right there. That'll get decreased to be under 200 square feet or removed. And then plus the detached structure that they want to build. So they'll have one detached garage and one utility shed, which is allowed under the single family small zoning district.
So they'd have 1,400
Yep, 1,400.
total.
Okay.
Making one smaller so they can build a big one.
Yes.
Travis, what type of foundations on that existing structure?
That one, I don't know. I believe,
I think it's concrete. I think it's a slab on grade.
So what are you gonna do with the existing concrete that if you're gonna make the shed smaller?
I don't mean to interject you real quick, but could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Tyler Warner with Warner and Winfield Construction.
Address?
For the here or mine? PO Box 336, Wausau, Wisconsin 54402.
Perfect, thank you. All right, go ahead.
So, to answer that, I would need to find out exactly specifically if it's slab on grade. If we need to cut it, we can cut it, remove that excess concrete. Once we shrink that detached garage into a utility shed.
You're gonna have, Sorry,
Leave that slab.
you're gonna have to pour a thickened footing in the front of that, or what you're shrinking down. And re-insulate, correct?
Correct.
You're almost better off just adding on to your garage to the 1,400.
Go ahead, Roman.
To answer Dave's question, we did a worksheet, a spec plan worksheet for all of the square footages of the house, the existing structure, proposed structure, and they're well under the 40% threshold. So to answer the question, yes, they could leave the slab. I believe
Basketball.
Gary was addressing the footing sizes for resizing the walls. Is that correct, Mr. Gard?
Well, if they take part of the building down, Roman, you know that that's gonna be exposed footing as well, and that's not gonna really help you with the frost in the inside of the existing one, so. You really have to pour another footing underneath that wall. If they're gonna shrink that building up. Correct?
Yeah, the footing will have to be relocated or resized for the structure, for the existing structure.
Yeah, and then they could, like you guys said, they could leave that other one out there, but they may
How
have some
big-
issues. They may have some issues with that thing moving.
How big is the existing one?
Approximately 400 square feet.
16 by 20.
Okay.
Yes, the builder is he sounds like he's in the crowd there. Does he understand where we're going with this, or is he following what the insulation factor and what the state requirements are?
Yes, what you're saying is on the west side of that existing garage, if we shorten it up, that front gable needs to be supported in the front by a footer.
Yeah, that and because you're also exposing your existing concrete to 4 inches without, you'll have to have the support, but you'll also have to have it for insulation for frost protection.
It's not a habitable structure.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay,
So it's just the accessory structure.
okay, thank you, Roman.
All right, anything further that staff or the applicant would like to add before we move on here? All right, hearing none, I'll take public comment. So on item number 6, project number 202503111, is there anybody online or in the audience that wishes to make a public comment on this? Second time, any comments on item number 6?
I do, Chip Hustle, 502 Street. I think it's an undue burden to shrink that building, and the cost benefit doesn't make sense. They're gonna replace it with a 200 square foot building. And you said it's almost that right now. Can't you just leave what's there and build the other building? Already said, we're like at or close, you're under that threshold of 40% anyways, so. I don't see why, I think you're causing an undue burden by making shrink that building. You're right. Far exceed the cost of what's existing there. You're spending thousands of dollars to shrink 15 or 100 square feet off of that building, 50 square feet off that building. What are you gaining other than penalizing the home?
I 100% agree.
So in the zoning code, you're only allowed one detached garage and one utility shed under 200 square feet.
Well, that
So-
identifies as a utility shed.
Okay, so just as a point of order, this is public comment, so
I'm
we-
sorry.
he can make a comment and that's it. This isn't up for discussion right now.
Sorry.
Was anything else you'd like to add?
No,
Nope.
sir.
Okay. Any other comments on item number 6? All right, hearing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Recommendations from staff?
We've outlined the draft conditions for the conditional use. They start on page 43.
All right, discussion and action by the plan commission.
I got a question if you got, if I can, if I may.
Go ahead, Gary.
This would be to our Roman and is the 400 square feet, is that too big for considered as a yard shed? What is our quota? Is that Jen or Roman?
In the code, the definition of a yard shed caps at 200 square feet.
Okay, and can this be thrown in as a condition, part of the conditional use, or is it not written for a conditional use for both of them to stay? Like if he were to leave the one at 400 and then the new one at the square footage he's asking. Is that a Jen question?
Well, the cap, we've exceeded the threshold for the proposed accessory structure. If it's the Plan Commission's purview, they would need to, I think, that's a great question, Gary. Hold on.
I wouldn't think
Just trying to be, you know, and I understand we don't want to open a can of worms and everybody asking for 400 square foot yard sheds, but in a situation like this, I understand and feel, geez, instead of having them tear the thing down and add the square footage to his existing one, he could do that as one option, or hack the building off with it fenceless, just due to the fact, but it's code, I understand that. Just adds a lot of extra expense. Just trying to see if there's any kind of way to work with them on it without having it mess up everybody else in the neighborhood.
we're gonna create a non-conforming structure though, if you put it as part of the conditional use.
That is my original thought, yes.
So Jamie, are you saying that we could not do it, or we could do it, but it would be a non-conforming structure? Or
I'm
is
saying it would be awkward to approve a non-conforming structure, because then why wouldn't everybody take
Yeah.
that process?
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. I don't want to open a can of worms, but just trying to,
In 9449, if you're going for a conditional use, there's no, you can't go for the amount of structures on a property. You can go for coverage, height, when you're applying for conditional use. But it doesn't say that you can change the amount of structures on a property.
how old is that existing structure? Can I ask the gentleman that's there?
I would have to look into that. I don't have an answer.
What's the square footage of the current yard shed?
16 by 20.
320 square feet.
It's a shame to cut 120 square feet off it, but I understand that's the code.
Is the reason for the ask for the 200 square foot additional for some sort of boat or camper or something like that, or is it just to maximize footprint?
You're talking about on the existing shed?
The new one.
The new one, we wants to have a workshop.
Okay.
And storage, not for boats or nothing's gonna be driving back there. That's just.
The question I asked was how old it was, in case he wants to just whack that one and just add a little bit more square footage to this one, if planning commission would be okay with that or not. Or if that would have to go back because it's a different size than what we're actually applying for.
Would that have to come back then, Jen?
One structure, 1,400 square feet.
Or is 1,400 the maximum?
The cap would be limited to the green space ratio and the coverage ratio.
So when I put in the application, I put it for 1,400 to allow for
Oh, so
the,
yes, so
yes.
you
Okay,
could do one structure,
You could do one
1,400,
structure,
because you would
yes,
still be under the
yeah, I
cap.
put it for
Got it.
1,400.
He's only asking for 12.
But if he gets rid of the door,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, is the app, I suppose, I know we have this gentleman here, but is the app,
No, he's
homeowner
not.
online at all?
No, he's out of town.
Okay.
So the application was for to increase it to the 1,400 allowable square footage on the property. If you wanted to do one structure or a detached garage and utility shed, I guess it's could go either way.
Is this gonna screw you up as on the builder side as far as building this? If you could discuss this with your client or the owner?
No, I think it'd be fine. They need to go over that.
Would it be easy enough to change on our, I mean, we'd have to come back here, obviously, correct? If they opted to go with just eliminate that other structure.
Well, you could probably, I don't know.
Can we,
Or they'd have to be a part of the
turn it to
motion. tonight.
1,400.
can we approve it at 1,400 single structure tonight? That way, if they wanna do that, they can go ahead and proceed shortly, and then if it changes, bring it back. Cause I mean, we wait
If you
till
would-
next month.
If you approve it at 1,400 tonight, it would also have to be, you would also have to outline that other building would have to be eliminated completely.
To achieve the 1,400.
Correct. So you're providing them with two options.
Travis, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can they go to 16 at all or not, or is it maximum no matter what? Or is it conditional use maximum 14?
No, the conditional use max is, it goes off of the landscaping ratio up to, I believe, 2,500, right?
Yep.
Cause then it's a principal structure.
So is he okay at 1,600 if they whack the, excuse my French or my terminology, but demoed the existing 400 and added it onto his one building? Can they ask for that 16?
I believe it would still meet landscape ratios at that point.
It would still meet
Yeah.
landscape ratios.
Then I think he should just talk to his client and come back next month.
Does that meet your client's timeframe? You wouldn't be able to build until after.
Yeah, it'd be really pushing it out there.
What was your goal to start, just out of curiosity?
We're hoping to do dirt work by the end of this month. Get concrete poured and then ready to go.
Do you think that they want to go larger than 1,400?
He originally wanted to, and then with the limitations, he was like, well, if we can keep the, go to the max with the detached, the new building, and then if we can keep the existing detached garage. I think he's okay with losing that detached garage and putting it into the new building. I'm pretty certain of that.
What was his goal to
Can
get
we-
square footage wise?
Roman, do you know how many square feet he can go up to maximum?
There isn't a cap on the square footage.
It's,
Once you get to 2,500 square feet, it's regulated as a principal structure, so it just has different setback requirements. So,
Can't have another principal structure in a single family.
so
What
it
I'm
would be
getting at
capped
is,
at 25.
okay, but does he have the landscaping or green space or that's what I was referencing that, Roman. Like,
Oh.
is he only maxed at 1,854 or something like that?
I would have to run numbers on that, Gary, to get you an answer, but I'm, to be 100% certain, but he was at about 12% coverage at the 1,400 square feet, so it should
And what is the coverage max?
40.
Oh geez, so he's got some good square. So, I mean, Jen, can we actually just change that square footage on this conditional use, or does that have to be rewritten? Maybe we just say it's up to a certain size tonight, if we can legally do that. And then he can determine if he wants to do it or not. And then the shed probably should have to come down if he was okay with it coming down. He'd probably be happy if he could have a bigger garage. Who wouldn't be?
I mean, you can modify during the hearing, so gives you the ability to make modifications. I mean, a hearing is to gain information about the project, so.
So could we put this on hold for 10 minutes and could the gentleman go out in the lobby and call his client and talk to him and then maybe we bring it up a little bit later?
Yeah.
We can defer it, yeah.
Let's do that. That would help everybody along.
Yeah. I think we would just table it till a little later in the meeting, correct?
You still have to close the public hearing.
Yeah.
Well, I did close it already.
Yeah, you
We're
did.
in discussion. Yeah.
Okay.
So do we need a motion to table it? Till later?
I'll make a motion. Can we table this and go on to something else and come back to this?
Okay, so we have a motion by Gurnt,
Second.
seconded by Hoffman. On the question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. So we will push item number 6 a little bit later in the meeting here. All right, moving on. Number 7, public hearing, project number 2025-0330. Amendment to official zoning map to rezone 3802 Schofield Avenue from B2 Highway Business to PD Plan Development. And 5510 Camp Phillips Road from MF Multiple Family Residential to PD Plan Development. The applicant is also proposing an amendment to the current general development plan, GDP, at the Weston Marketplace. 3806, 3910, 4002, and 4020 Schofield Avenue. To include these 2 additional parcels to the GDP and create an additional separate parcel on the corner of Schofield Avenue and Camp Phillips Road for future development. Dairyland Operations LLC and MRV Architects Inc., 3910 Schofield Avenue LLC. Blue Water of Weston LLC, RS Holdings of Wisconsin LLC, Golden Pacific Holdings LLC, and Christopher Connor. I'll open the public hearing. Presentation by applicant and or staff.
Okay, if you go to page 56, you will see the current Weston Marketplace plan development as it currently stands right now. So that has that was the original, I'm sorry. That was the original one in 2006. This project has kind of gone through a number of different changes over the years. Our old code had an overlay plan development, which went through a totally different process than what we have now. So what you're seeing on page 56 was the original one when building 1, which is where the Gigi's Playhouse and Jimmy John's building is. So that was what we got in 2006. In 2013, there was a change right before we adopted the new zoning code. They added the current Dunkin' building, which had the green space area on the corner, which became the location of the Weston Farmers Market in 2014. In 2015, the village removed the planned or the overlay plan development or plan development option out of the zoning code, and we did not have that for a number of years. This development kind of had it was basically its own zoning district along with the Renaissance. They were the only planned developments that we had at the time, so they became their own district for a little while. In 2018, they added the 4th building, which is the Tynan Cellar, American Family, and the local is in that building. In 2021, staff brought back a proposal to put plan development back into the zoning code. And so at that time, we went through and actually brought the Renaissance and the Weston Marketplace they were rezoned to the plan development as it stands now. So we were approached by the developers of Weston Marketplace, or the Weston Center as it had been called originally. And they had asked to amend the GDP, which is the general development plan for the project, which would be how it currently stands today with the buildings, so those 4 buildings and the farmer's market. If you go to page 62, you will see the GDP that they are proposing. So as part of this process, they're also planning to bring in 2 parcels that they have purchased over the last few years. The northern parcel, which has access off of Camp Phillips Road, that is currently zoned multifamily. They're asking to rezone that and bring that into the Weston Marketplace planned development at this time, along with the home that they have on, that's next to Tynan Cellar off of Schofield Avenue. So those would be added to the project as future retail and public space, farmers market potential site. We're not exactly 100% sure that's where the market would move to. This all came about because they are working with someone on the corner. So they are also asking to divide off the corner, and it would be sold to the franchisee of Dunkin' and Baskin Robbins. So this would, they would come back in with a specific implementation plan for that development at a later time. They're not fully vetted with their plans on that yet, so that will come back in the next couple of months. Right now, what they are asking is for the plan commission, and then the village board will have to actually act on the GDP also next week. But they're asking to amend the general development plan for the West End Marketplace to include those 2 new properties and also divide off the property on the corner so that it can be separated by CSM, but also be a part of still of the Weston Marketplace. Village staff has been talking to the vendors at the farmer's market, and for at least the 2026 season, the market will be moving to a space in Kennedy Park that they're very excited about. So we'll kind of see how that goes. The developer would still like to work with the village on doing something on the northern portion of the property as like a public space farmer's market site. Staff has looked at it, but we would need to flush that out with the village board a little bit more prior to working on that project. So that in a nutshell is the amendment to the GDP. The developers, one of the developers agents is here. I know there's people online also. If there's any questions. But I don't know.
So, is there someone in the office or in the audience here, just about this project? Would you have anything you'd like to add, sir?
Nope, I work for Lockery Development, which is part of that, and it just makes sense what we're trying to do. Dunkin' Donuts is trying to go on the corner there. We purchased those parcels around to help with the development for future potential expansion.
Okay, you just state your name and address for the record, please.
Yep, Victor Anderson, 805 Kresge Avenue.
All right, thank you. Is there anybody online and for this project that would like to make any comments as well? Before we move on?
Sure. Shannon Eldridge, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Shannon Eldridge, also with Lockery. I'm at 17 South Garfield, Janesville, Wisconsin, and just I echo Vic's comments. I mean, there's just that due to the success of commercial businesses out here and interest in that, and now owning parcels on both the north and west side, we wanted to incorporate, have the ability to incorporate additional retail or commercial space into this development.
Well, thank you very much. All right, public comments.
Oh, I was gonna can you hear me? Hello? Yep. Good evening. I'm Mario Valentini. I'm with MRV Architects, representing the franchisee for the Dunkin' and the purchaser of the property, which is Dairyland. So if you have any questions regarding that corner portion, we're here to help. Again, Mario Valentini, MRV Architects, 5105 Tollview Drive in Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, public comment. Do we have anybody online or in the audience that wishes to make a comment? I do have a form here for agenda item number 7 from Jim Pincinel. Jim, would you like to make a comment on this?
Still 500 Street Mountain. So I just have some questions on this and some comments. One, I'm thrilled to see that the site continue to get developed. I do have some questions, concerns. This is a unique site, as Jennifer mentioned earlier, that it was part of an overlay district, and then we changed it to a planned development district, and it kind of sat on an island for a while with Rennis being one of the two in the village, and now we have multiple of these. But this area had kind of always gotten grandfathered in, if you will, and there are some areas on the parcel that aren't compliant with the zoning code, and there's been no attempt made to get them into compliance. The dumpster enclosures on the north side of building 1, I think you referred to it as, are non-existent or severely deteriorated. I know attempt to fix that. We got trash outside the dumpster enclosure southwest of the Judova area, which there has been formal complaints made on and no action on since fall of last year. So it's almost a year. One would think that a guy could make some improvement in a year. So my concern is, if we continue to develop this, are we still gonna just treat it as like, oh, well, this was the way that it was before, and our zoning code changed a lot in the last 20 years, but we're not gonna hold them to the same standard that we hold everyone else in the village of Weston in 2025 to, or 26, they built in 26, and we're just gonna play by 2006 rules. I'm very concerned with that, especially showing the past practice of how this area has not been compliant with the zoning code.
Anything further?
Yes, and then what will the planning commission do to ensure compliance with the zoning code if this is approved? If you approve this tonight and say, yep, we're gonna do this and life is good, and we'll amend the general development plan and the PD district and all this other jazz, what measures or steps is the planning commission going to take to ensure that there is compliance, or are we just still gonna fly by the seat of our pants and turn a blind eye?
All right, any other public comments on agenda item number 7?
I just want to address what he talked about. We have been working with the village on upgrading all of those enclosures because they are outdated, falling apart, but we will have a plan that's gonna, get applied to this site, so we'll upgrade everything.
Thank you. Just state your name and address one more time for the record.
Sure, Victor Anderson, 805 Kresge Avenue, Rothschild.
Thank you. Last time, any other public comments on agenda item number 7? All right, hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Recommendations from staff. Hang on just a sec, we'll get there. Go ahead.
So staff recommends approval. That would include, so as part of the GDP process now, you have to determine the uses that will be allowed within the development. And so we have been just kind of going, because this one had been done without it. Most of the businesses or the properties along Schofield Avenue are B2 in that area. So we would recommend that the B2 zoning for permitted uses and conditional uses apply for this development going forward.
Okay. Discussion and recommendation to the Board of Trustees by the Plan Commission. So Dave, if you have a comment.
Yeah, getting back to Mr. Anderson's comments with the site. I like it. I'm in favor of it. But, yeah, there's, in my opinion, some maintenance that has been lacking. The parking lot for one, and there's 7 trees that are dead that need to be addressed also. I hope that those are part of what you're looking at doing.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Anybody else from planning have any comments, questions, or concerns?
Jen, from a green space standpoint, can they do all that they're asking to do on that lot with this proposed design?
Most likely because there's a really big drainage pond in the back, so.
Gotcha.
And as part of a general, as planned development, it does allow you to, have like smaller setbacks, different things like that. This all fits within the setbacks and all that, but they'll still have to go through, to add this to the development. They're gonna have to come in with a whole site plan for the new building, and as part of that, they're gonna have to upgrade the stormwater plan there.
Gotcha. Is that also the reason why the adjacent lots were purchased to offset the green space?
The developer's been buying that with the goal to kind of have, he's been trying to get kind of the whole area because he would like to actually be able to kind of rearrange things and have the development go all the way out. It would go out to Mount View. So he's been kind of purchasing the property. The northern one, there used to be just like a single family, an old single family house on there. Over the years, they've brought in a number of different ideas there. At one point, they were looking at housing, like putting an apartment complex there to kind of put more people into the area and have it as a true, when this came to fruition in 2006, they called it a lifestyle center. It was the Weston Lifestyle Center. The idea was to have, that's why it kind of looked like there's housing up on top, was to kind of have it be a kind of a mixed use kind of development.
Gotcha.
Is there a determination we have to go through for this one?
No, it's just a recommendation to the,
I didn't see one in the packet. I just wanted to make.
yeah, essentially, there's not a determination, but there are the different things that they need to meet in order to amend the GDP, and those have been met. So on page 60, there is some criteria, I guess, starting with A. They're kind of similar to like the rezone. This would be for the zoning.
Page 66.
60.
Do you want anything worked into the motion about utilizing the B2 zoning then? You had mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be included in there. It's in the packet. I included
The sheet on it, yeah.
So, okay, so if we were to recommend to the board to approve the rezone petition and plan, that would automatically include the B2? Or does that need to be specifically?
I would suggest that in the motion that you put it,
Okay.
if it wasn't specifically put into their plan, I discussed it with MRV that they needed to provide that. It really should have come from Lockery, but that is, and I talked to Raleigh, that's what we've been using, and that's what they've been putting into the development is uses that fall in the B2. So since we're kind of bringing this to the current standards, I'd like to have it noted. So yes, please put it in the motion.
Do we also have to state something about the maintenance at this point? Or how does that get handled to make sure that
We're actively working with them on that. Sometimes these things take longer.
understood?
Because of the potential development on the backside, they were trying to figure out the best way to handle the garbage back there. So they may be, instead of having all of them have their own garbage, they may have like more
Centralized.
Yeah. Just because it was kind of up in the air on what was going to the north and how they were gonna handle the building that Dollar General or Family Dollar had been in.
What's your pleasure? Anybody want to take a stab at a motion?
I was hoping you were gonna.
Joe and Gary, are you still with us?
Yes, sir.
Like either of you like to make a motion?
I was going to, I just got a little lost, Jen, on page 60 as far as what you want to see in there. I'd be more than happy to make a motion to approval of the rezone petition and plan with modifications and or conditions. The conditions are part of what Jen was referencing was on, what's it on page 60?
So no, on page 60 was typically for the rezone, you would.
We're talking about making a motion on item number 7. You. Is that where we-
Yeah, so I would like to make a motion to approve the recommendations from staff and follow the regulations of the zoning, being that and the new requirements that have been put into place, and continue to have staff work with developer on getting the improvements done and move forward with joining the other 2 properties along with the existing development and approval of the that's going to be parceled off on a separate parcel, it sounds like. Did I miss anything that somebody wants to help me with?
On page 61 in the packet, there is some recommended language, depending on what you wanted to do. I think the only thing that really needs to be added was the B2 zoning, correct, Jen?
Right, and he roundabout.
Did I not say that? I'm sorry if I did not represent B2 zoning, but yeah. Okay. Steve's got his mind on other things right now.
Okay, so we have a motion by Gary. Do we have a second?
Yes.
By Deason. On the question. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 8, public hearing, project number 20230188, amendment to conditional use permit and site plan at Midwest Mini Storage, 8211 Schofield Avenue. Breland Midwest Mini Storage P1 LLC and Traviata LLC. I apologize if I mispronounced any of that. I will open the public hearing. Presentation by applicant and or staff.
The applicant is in the room with us this evening. Owen, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, Owen Jones, 723 Country Club Roads, Schofield. Dalton Breland, 6103 Don Street.
Either of you have anything you wish to
We're
add?
switching building A from a maxi storage to big storage. We've seen higher demand in the inland. Cost per square foot's less and revenue per square foot is higher, so it's kind of all around. Same elevation, we're reducing the setback from 55 feet to 35 feet. Roll with the driveway. Yes, sorry, not setback. The driveway between buildings to 35 feet, it's obviously it won't be large. It's not for large vehicles or whatever, like maxi.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Jen, you have anything you'd like to add?
If you want to pull up page 81 and 82, that's the current site plan. So the building in question is the building 8, the farthest one to the east. So page 81 is gonna show our reduced distance between the two buildings, 7 and 8. Page 82 has the original layout and location of the building.
It's 82 and
83, sorry, my apologies.
So essentially, it's just moving in tighter so that we can get pavement all the way around it, correct?
So that they can access both sides of the building. Oh, is that a double door building?
Yeah.
All right, anything else from staff? All right, public comment.
I think we have someone that wanted to share public comment. Jeremy, did you want to share public comment on this item?
I don't. Boarding a plane right now, so I can't.
So he did send an email that was listed right after the hearing notice. One thing I just thought of, they weren't changing the landscaping plan, so we will need to check to make sure that they have appropriate screening on that side, because I'm guessing they were using the building at that time as the screening, so we may need to modify that landscape plan.
Does that need to come back and be part of this approval tonight, or can that be looked at a later time?
It can be looked at a later time. I mean, you could put that in the motion. It was just something I thought of, because they had not planned to change it, but we just need to verify that they still meet, because I'm guessing that you didn't require it along there. Because there was
I
no,
don't think we did.
there was no street there. It would have just been backed up to the building. Or no driveway there.
Anything else from staff?
No, it would just be an amendment. This would be the second amendment to this conditional use permit. There is a determination form in there, and I do have, it's basically the same, conditions would apply. That we probably gave it the last time. Those are listed on page 78. But I would add,
Screening.
the screening, ensuring that they have the appropriate screening on that side.
Okay. All right, public comment. We have a public comment sheet here from Jim Pincinel.
Oh, yeah, Jim Hussam, 502 Street still. Just had a couple of questions on the phasing. I know this has changed multiple times and there's been some changes in interested parties and stuff. But I thought it was gonna be paved in July, now in September. I totally get it, but like, if it were my project, I would pave the thing once and not two different swipes, but I remember sitting in this boardroom in July, and now we're in September, we got 60 days left to pave. Whether it'll keep up by fall and pave it before winter, or what does that look like, or the planning commission not concerned with that?
Owen, can you,
Well, hold on, right, just a quick second. Is that all you have, Jim? Anything else?
That's enough.
Okay. Any other public comments on item number 8? All right, hearing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Recommendation from staff.
Recommend approval, with the conditions as listed. And then to just add in there to do a recheck on that landscape plan, just to make sure that there's appropriate screening on that west side or east side.
you said,
And then discussion and action by the plan commission. Trav, if you had a question that you wanted to ask.
You have the determination form to go through too.
2 questions on one, what does the timeline look like?
Well. Yeah, buildings that work on Friday.
Okay,
With this approved, we try to work for snow flies.
building seven will start getting erected in October. You know, not that everybody needs to know the situation, but I had to buy out a business partner and there was going on. So we also had some subs that were paid in full for the entire project. Didn't get their bills and didn't show up to finish, so just kind of working through some variables that are out of control. So it'll be done, not on time, but it'll be done and it'll look really good.
Are you thinking about paving in spring then?
Yeah.
After the projects are completed?
Yes.
Were you aware of this screening on the east side at all, or not?
No, because I just thought about it.
Okay.
No.
Will that be an issue if we have to take a look at that?
In the landscaping plan, there are trees on that side.
Is there? I just didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know if
Cause-
I don't know if it's enough or not. but
Yeah,
there
we'll
is
just have to
landscaping
make sure
that
there's
was
enough.
proposed behind that building.
Okay.
That wasn't originally there.
Yeah, I just want to verify it because the one comment from Mr. Muir, was something about screenings.
All right, got one other question for you, Owen. Is the intent to get these at some point operational before the end of the year, before snow flies, to lease these things, or are you looking at leasing them more in the spring?
So we have temporary occupancy and what's there is full.
So as soon as they go up, you would like to be able to lease them? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, you know, electrical and some of the nuanced stuff to get occupancy, but yeah, ideally we're, you know, trucking full speed ahead from here on out.
Okay.
Is there any issue with temporary occupancy with waiting until spring for paving
No,
on your end?
no.
Okay.
They've satisfied all the requirements that I've had for them on the six existing
And
buildings.
the issues with the other buildings that I think we talked about that at length here, those have all been addressed, correct? Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure.
No, they've got temporary ramps installed for all of the handicap units since we've got significant lips because there's no pavement at those units. So lighting, site lighting has been adjusted and is satisfactory. So I mean, Owen's, you know, satisfied everything that I've had for him.
All right, any other comments, questions, concerns from the Plan Commission in regards to agenda item number 8? All right, hearing none, I'll move through the determination. Number 1, is the proposed conditional use consistent with the comprehensive plan, this chapter, and all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village?
Yes.
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 Number 2, the proposed conditional use in its proposed location and as depicted on the required site plan will not result in a substantial or undue adverse impact on nearby property, the character of the neighborhood, environmental factors, traffic factors, parking, public improvements, public property or rights of way, or other matters affecting the public health, safety, or general welfare, either as they now exist or as they may in the future be developed as a result of the implementation of the provisions of this chapter, the comprehensive plan, or all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village.
Yes.
Yes. Number 3, does the proposed conditional use maintain the desired consistency of land uses, land use intensities, and land use impacts as related to the environs of the subject property?
Yes.
Number 4, is the proposed conditional use located in an area that will be adequately served by and will not impose an undue burden on any of the improvements, facilities, utilities, or services provided by public agencies serving the subject property?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, do the potential public benefits of the proposed conditional use outweigh potential adverse impacts of the proposed conditional use after taking into consideration the applicant's proposal and any requirements recommended by the applicant to ameliorate such impacts?
Yes.
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 I will entertain a motion.
I'll make it.
Gary,
I was gonna make a motion to approve this with existing conditions that were already in the conditional uses, along with verifying with staff the landscaping conditions with change and verify that has worked or that will work with the new requirements to satisfy the neighbor. And before, I don't know if this is procedure or not, but I just want to thank Owen for sticking with this. It's been a difficult situation for him. I know we've struggled a little bit on planning to go through this, but thanks for investing in our community, Owen. And I know it's been a struggle getting through this, and thanks for your efforts and keeping things moving and getting this thing finalized, because I know it hasn't been easy for you.
Second.
We have a motion by Gurnt, seconded by Deason. On the question. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? That was a yay, correct, Joe?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Mr. Chairman, you want to go back to number 6? I think the phone call.
Yes, yep, thank you, I appreciate that. All right, so I guess the ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much as well, sir. I apologize, we kind of got off track there for a second, but thank you. All right, so we're gonna go back to item number 6. Bring that forward again from earlier in the meeting. Public hearing, project number 20250311. I guess the floor is yours, sir.
I spoke with my client and he is okay with removing the existing 16 by 20 existing garage and putting it towards the new building. So,
Did he have a number?
A square footage that he's asking for?
I didn't ask him specifically. The 1,400, he was okay with.
Jen, if we approve that, like, let's say for 1,800 and he decides to build smaller,
It should be fine.
Is that acceptable?
You could just put up to 1,800.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We can go up to a certain.
So based on the
Because it might
math,
not be
Yeah,
that size.
What do you
anyway.
got?
based on the math, if he went all the way to 2,500 square feet, total coverage would be just over 20%, so we'd still have 79% landscaping.
All right, I think what I'd like to do is just approve it at the 2,500 square foot with removal of the,
I wouldn't probably go that. How big is this house?
The house is 2,500 approximately, the driveway's 1,150, and then there's the sidewalk.
Yeah, I would.
I would keep it.
1,800.
Can somebody remember? Did we-
If he's happy with 14, can we go to 18 and then work with him, work with you? So
Are we good with that, Jen, at 18?
I will just do up to a certain number, whatever.
So I guess someone's gonna have to make the motion. I mean, my suggestion would be
Did
his
we go
initial
through the,
request
did
tonight
we
was
do
for the
the,
30 by, hold on just a sec, Gary. His initial request was for the 30 by 40, which is 12. His existing structure is somewhere between 300 and 400. So
right,
at that point,
so
I would say 16, but that's me. I mean, I'm not the one making the motion, so.
did we do a determination already on this?
No.
We did not. I
So
don't-
let's do that.
we have to.
You do, yes. I don't know what page it is.
Trying to get there.
42.
Steve likes
Right,
to
so
talk.
the determination for item number 6. Is the proposed conditional use consistent with the comprehensive plan, this chapter, and all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village and ETZ committee?
Yes.
Yes. 2, the proposed conditional use in its proposed location and as depicted on the required site plan will not result in a substantial or undue adverse impact on nearby property, the character of the neighborhood, environmental factors, traffic factors, parking, public improvements, public property or rights of way, or other matters affecting the public health, safety, or general welfare, either as they now exist or as they may in the future be developed as a result of the implementation of the provisions of this chapter, the comprehensive plan, or all other plans, programs, and ordinances adopted by the village.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 3, does the proposed conditional use maintain the desired consistency of land uses, land use intensities, and land use impacts as related to the environs of the subject property?
Yes.
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 Number 4, is the proposed conditional use located in an area that will be adequately served by and will not impose an undue burden on any of the improvements, facilities, utilities, or services provided by public agencies serving the subject property?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, do the potential public benefits of the proposed conditional use outweigh potential adverse impacts of the proposed conditional use after taking into consideration the applicant's proposal and any requirements recommended by the applicant to ameliorate such impacts?
Yes.
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 All right, so if anyone would like to take a stab at a motion on this, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make
I'll make them, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
make a motion that we approve this with the removal of the existing structure and up to, but not to exceed 1,800 square feet on the new existing structure, and working with staff with that determination.
Thank you. I'll second that, but I think I just want to clarify, new existing would be just not to exceed 1,800 square feet on the new facility and removal of the existing facility, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that was the intent of the motion.
Yep.
So we have a motion by Deason, seconded by Gerndt. I just want to make sure I get this right, to approve an 1,800 square foot new structure along with the removal of the current accessory structure.
Correct.
Yes.
Anything further on the discussion?
So I have a number of items listed as conditions, and that includes site plans that were provided. So we're gonna need to have all that updated, and you're gonna have to be okay with staff being the approval authority on the site plan.
Dave will have to amend this.
You want me to add that or amend?
Well, if you didn't have those 6 conditions that I had in there, yeah, you would need to amend it because there's specific things that have to get put into the conditional use.
Correct. I'll amend the motion to have the 6 bullet points as staff has indicated on this project.
I'll second that.
So we have an amendment to the original motion by Deason, seconded by Gerndt on the question. So this vote is going to be on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? All right, so carried on the amendment. Now on the original motion by Deason, seconded by Gerndt. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Sorry for the delay there. All right, moving right along here. Item number 9. Public hearing, project number 2025-0324, rezone request from SFS Single Family Residential Small Lot Zoning District to 2F, 2 Family Residential Zoning District on lots 37 through 46 and 63 through 72 of the proposed preliminary plat of Granite Ridge located south of Mary Lane and Old Costa Lane, Riverside Land Surveying Timber Ridge Builders LLC. I will open the public hearing. Presentation by staff and or the applicant.
Okay, this kind of goes with number 2, the Granite Ridge subdivision approval. So the applicant is requesting to rezone to 2F a number of lots. If you go to page 95.
It's these ones that are down in red, yes.
Yes.
A little.
Out by the highway, correct?
Yeah, so they would be, the majority of the lots that would be along State Highway 29 in the future development. So the entire 2 40-acre parcels are already zoned single family, so they could go in there right now and request the for single family homes on the subdivision, but they would like to put twin homes and duplex lots along along the highway. So that's why they are requesting the rezone.
All right, is the applicant here or online? You have something you'd like to add, sir?
Basically, we're trying to use the twin homes and the duplexes kind of to phase the development to kind of buffer between the highway and the more larger homes as you go further up. So the reason for the rezone is to get the ability to have the twin homes and duplexes as kind of their starter homes in the development.
All right, name and address for the record, please.
Keith Walkuski, Riverside Land Surveying, 5310 Willow Street.
Thank you. Anything else from staff?
So as this development has been looked at for a number of years, and so when we did the future land use map update in 24, this area that was along the highway was put into the comp plan as mixed or flex commercial residential to allow for the multifamily along the highway there. So it is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The rest of the development was shown as low density village residential, which is what the existing neighborhood to the north is.
Yeah. Public comment. Anybody online or here in the audience that wishes to make a comment on agenda item number 9?
There was one that was in your packet originally that was sent from a Christine Kammerer on 6405 Connie Lane. So I just want to note that for you all.
Okay. And we have, sir, if you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
Ron Portis, 6103 Mary Lane.
Floor is yours, sir.
I have concerns about they're gonna jam a lot of houses in there the way it is. The traffic is gonna be terrible. Especially with little kids and everything. On Old Costa, it's really a concern of mine that it's just adding more cars. And you figure, what is a home now? It's got at least 2 vehicles. You do the math on, what is that, 80 houses or residents? That's a lot of traffic for Old Costa. That's basically my concern. I mean, they put the houses up, we're the ones that have to live there.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other comments on agenda item number 9? Anybody online have their hand up?
No.
No.
I guess I kind of agree with him. Jean Cooper from 5708 Mary Lane. I'm hoping there were maybe some other entry points outside of our neighborhood to get back there.
We can explain that when we talk about the plat in the next agenda item, unless you want me to discuss that now.
Do we need to vote on this first? And then?
Yeah, let's, let me get out of public comment here and then we can kind of go into some of that. Any other public comments on agenda item number 9?
So I mean, you do have 2 entrances, so not all the traffic is getting funneled onto one road. You know, there's 2 exits to the subdivision. And then Michael had asked us to dedicate that portion to 29 where potentially there would be a bridge going for 29 years in the future, which would allow traffic to go across the highway.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Recommendation from staff.
Recommendation is to recommend to the Board of Trustees to rezone that small portion to 2F.
Okay. Discussion and recommendation to the Board of Trustees by the Plan Commission. Jen, did you wanna, do we wanna get into that second outlet right now, or do you wanna wait till the next agenda item?
Close this out first because all they're asking for is a rezone on the.
Yeah,
whole
they
lot.
really are only
Let's
asking
be
for-
Clean on this and
Yep.
then go back.
That's
because
fine.
they're asking for one.
Okay. Any other comments, questions, or concerns on 9 by the Plan Commission? If not, we will move through the determination. I'm just trying to find my place. And then,
Motion.
Sorry.
all right, it's on page 103 if anybody wants to follow along. Is the proposed proposed rezoning consistent with the comprehensive plan as is required by Wisconsin statutes?
Yes.
Number 2, does the rezoning further the purpose and intent of this chapter?
Yes.
Yes. 3, does rezoning address any of the following that are not properly addressed on the current official zoning map? Number 1, a mistake was made in mapping on the official zoning map, that is, an area is or has developed in a manner and purpose different from that for which it is mapped. If the reason is cited, it must be demonstrated that the discussed inconsistency between actual land use and designated zoning is not intended, as the village may intend to stop an undesirable land use pattern from being perpetuated. 2, factors have changed such as the availability of new data, the presence of new roads or other infrastructure, additional development, annexation, or other zoning changes, making the subject property more appropriate for a different zoning district. 3, growth patterns or rates have changed, thereby creating the need for a rezone.
Yes.
We have to.
2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and I would agree, 2 and 3. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
3.
Okay, 2 and 3. Item number 4, does the proposed zoning district maintain the desired consistency of land uses, land use intensities, and land use impacts as related to the surroundings of the subject property?
Yes.
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 I will entertain a motion on the rezone.
I'll make a motion to approve the rezone to the board members with the change in the zoning for from single family to a multifamily and 0 lot line, whatever the terminology is for that.
Be 2F, Gary.
2F. Okay.
So we have a motion by Gerndt,
Second.
second by Deason. On the question? Was that motion clear enough, Valerie? Or do we need to restate it? No? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Item number 10, project 20250324, preliminary plat approval for the Granite Ridge subdivision located south of Mary Lane and Old Costa Lane. Again, for Riverside Land Surveying, Timber Ridge Builders LLC. Jen, are you taking this one?
Yes, so Granite Ridge Builders is proposing an 87 lot subdivision. 20 of those lots, which you just are recommending rezoning on to the board, would be for 2F. It would be rezoned to 2F to allow for duplexes and townhome or twin homes to be built along the highway, as we talked about. The price points for the proposed subdivision are planned to be $400,000 to $500,000 for single family, twin homes anywhere from $300,000 to $350,000, and duplexes from $450,000 to $500,000. So this is tracking a little bit higher than what the homes are going for right now in Hinner Springs. There will be sidewalk on both sides of the road in the development. Staff has also requested an outlot between lots 32 and 33 that feed into a larger stormwater area there. which we're gonna need to change that to stormwater. I think it says storm sewer on it. So basically the park and recreation impact fee collected from all the homes that would go into this would go towards building a path that would go through that outlot into Robinwood Park area for the development. Let's see what else.
Then can you repeat that again? Where's the path going?
You can see right there.
I think street where the park is now.
So there's a 20, I think it's 20 feet. And it goes into that larger, and then everything to the east of this property there after a little bit is part of Robinwood Park.
John, that's wetland. It only goes up, that easement goes. Is there something on the other lot that allows it to go through? Or is that just?
The easement connects then that outlot to the proposed road and.
Oh, okay, okay. That's an outlot then, Michael. That's not another buildable lot.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, excellent. And you guys get the outlot?
Correct.
Okay, 10-4.
As was stated by Keith, on the south side there, they did work with Michael to leave enough road right of way so that in our future transportation plan and official map, we do have an overpass that would go to the south side of 29 at a later date. We also are looking at extending Municipal Street. There is some right of way that is already there. And so that would be looked at as a future project due to this development. So Michael is going to be looking at talking to Public Works and the village board on making that happen.
Where's the right of way gonna go on municipal?
Straight, if you're on municipal right now, when it curves at Stella, it goes straight past like Mitch
Right next
King's.
To American Door.
There's enough there.
There is, yeah. So there's actually, so again, that's like, as we talked previously on this subdivision, one of the biggest issues was the getting right of way access south there, so it wasn't just at Old Costa. So there's a couple, there's already a water main easement that runs through there. So, so some of it will have to be land that gets purchased, so it'd be part of a future capital improvement plan. But looking to connect that kind of straight through there so that Old Costa isn't the only roadway through there. And in general, it's one of those things we look at in the existing street network is where do we have our bottlenecks, our pinch points of subdivisions that got built with one way in and one way out. Because someday that street will need to be reconstructed and all of a sudden you have 40, 50 plus homes, you know, just in the existing subdivision itself. That starts becoming a scary thought that how do we get these people in and out of their homes if that intersection at Stella and Old Costa someday is inaccessible, so. I think it makes a lot of sense to look at connecting municipal through there, especially if we're adding another 80 houses. So.
Comments, questions, or concerns by the Plan Commission?
Did I lose everybody or are we still here?
Oh, we're still here. I think everybody's just keeping thought. Jen, what's the what
So if you, Jamie has it up online right now. Otherwise, I think I started it on 98, but basically with the preliminary plat, we have to put in all the things that you want to see or have happen before final plat comes back. So this is kind of, you're able to add some things in that they either need to do or just a lot of the stuff that we have is kind of standard language now. So the first one is to require park and recreation impact fee at the time of building permit issuance in lieu of land dedicated for parkland. We don't need any more parkland in that area. The Corp does not ask for anything more there, so everything, every building permit would instead go through that park and recreation impact fee instead of the developer donating a small park there or something.
But that doesn't impact the walkway or corridor that.
No,
that
no,
we
they've
want
already
to
provided for all that.
park.
So we're just planning, the way that the statutes read is you should be designating where those funds from the development go. So they should be staying in that, either going to Robinwood Park because they're, you know, for upgrades at the park, because that's gonna be the park for this subdivision, essentially, this neighborhood. Or we could use it to enhance things in the neighborhood, like creating that pathway, right? So that instead of requiring park land, that would be number one there. And then Michael still does need to approve the plans for the public improvements. We would also have making sure that they've reached out to WPS, what's not Charter anymore, or Frontier. I think it's still Frontier, but Spectrum, TDS, making sure that they do have, you know, that they have internet available out there. Also they are currently already working with the postmaster. The USPS is now requiring the CBUs, basically the mailboxes. So they're working through that right now with them to find the proper location because they are not delivering to everybody anymore into their own mailbox in these new developments. We also have the standard execution of a development agreement, so that will be in process. We'll be working with them to get that ready for final plat. And then just changing the wording on the outlet to read outlet for stormwater management and trail instead of storm sewer. Or yeah, instead of storm sewer. So those were the only conditions that I had.
Would we want to add anything into the conditions about making sure that municipal street?
I don't know if you got
I
about-
got about 4 minutes away from the last thing he said.
Excuse me.
Sorry, guys.
Municipal streets outside that plat, so.
Sounds like a future discussion at a
That's
future
a
time.
future board and
Okay.
public works. It is on the official map already. And the official transportation map, the future transportation map for the village, so.
Jen, it sounds like you and staff have gone through this and everything. You've done a good job with it. Obviously, brought all the requirements up to what your standards are. Curb gutter, asphalt roads, all that stuff. Michael's really usually very good with all of that stuff. So I'm assuming you've got everything covered here. We're not missing anything, are we?
I'm just out of curiosity. So has this been delineated already? So they don't need to use the.
Correct, no.
Okay. I just wanted to, before we ended up with a situation there as well again, so.
Correct, yeah.
With that, do we still have part of that right away there? Right now,
do.
would that be vacated then?
I guess not part of this plat, that'd be something. I
It's
guess,
the new owners of the property, they would have to go through the process to request it. There really isn't a need.
Okay.
Need to.
I was just curious. I know there's been some lengthy discussion on that in the past.
yeah,
Anyone like to take a stab at a motion?
So there's 4 different motions that have been laid out.
And this is not a public hearing, so we don't believe we have to do the determination, correct?
Correct.
And 99 has the 4 potential options.
So Jen, did you hear my comments before at all, or was I muted or thought I was unmuted?
I think you might have broke up a little bit, Gary.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just was asking if there was anything that we're missing here, because usually staff does a very, very good job of going through these plans. Is there anything that we're not seeing? I mean, I think everything looks pretty darn good on the plans, and I'm assuming, Michael, you went through all stormwater calcs and the curb gutter, asphalt. I mean, all the stuff is up to requirements and everything's good. Otherwise, it wouldn't have made it this far, I'm assuming, Rick, correct?
yeah, I mean, so we only require preliminary plans to be submitted at this point, so, we don't. It's not 100% designed yet as far as all little details for utilities and roadway, but it does appear to be sufficient where they'll be able to get, gravity sewer and stormwater to drain to the correct areas.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the preliminary plat, so before final plat, they'll need to.
Yeah, so that's
Have all that
listed as
finalized.
number 2. So that'll all have to be in place before we bring the final plat back to you.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, Jen, we're recommending I mean, I don't see why we would deny this. I would assume we recommend approval with those conditions on it.
Yeah, so number 1 would be to recommend approval. Number 2 is recommend denial. 3 is no recommendation, and then that just moves on to the village board.
Yeah. And I
4
guess,
would be defer action.
yeah, and I guess where I'm going with it is there any reason? That's why I asked Michael and yourself. Ultimately, it's a preliminary plat, so you guys are gonna work through any of those items no different than you do on any other one, of what the requirements are within staff, and if they have questions or problems or they can't get there, then they would ask to come to board or planning commission if they're contesting something, correct?
So basically what's gonna happen, if the plan commission recommends approval, with those 7 or 6 items that I have listed there, they will go and they will get the plat and bring it back in its final form for your approval. So I don't anticipate that the plat is going to change at all.
Yeah, okay.
From what you see now.
All right, well, let's just I'll make a motion to recommend approval.
I'm sorry, who was raising their hand? Oh. You sure? Hold on just a second, Gary.
Yep.
Do you have a quick comment you'd like to make?
I was just gonna say, like, the preliminary plats for the whole thing, it'll probably be phased for the development for the final plat. So the final plat that comes back will just be the phase they're gonna build at the first phase. Just so we're be honest.
Also, so Keith, there's phasing involved in it as well, which understandably, because it's a lot of money to outlay to do all at one shot. I understand that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to be in front of the council here, so.
You're still gonna approve, you still would approve the whole plat, though. We
Yes.
would, phasing as part of the development agreement.
It's the final plat
Yep.
that comes.
10-4.
The
Okay,
final
so
plat will be the final plat. The phasing will be in the development agreement.
Are they planning to break it into?
You're gonna plat it all at once.
We can discuss that.
Okay.
Okay.
It does give them the ability to bring back, yes, phases. So like in the case of Hinter Springs, they have a first edition. So they did it 2.
Keith, is there any benefit, or is it just the extra extra permitting and extra meetings and all that, if you're gonna not do the plat as all one plat, besides phasing and then phasing your plats, it just costs more money doing it. I know it's less outlay, but to do it all at one shot, I'm assuming, correct?
It is more cost effective to do it all at one shot, yeah, but then typically a developer will tell us that they're getting taxed on all these lots that they can't build them that fast, so.
Well, I think you gotta just communicate, that should be part of the negotiating with the village and the tax assessor. If they're not developed, they shouldn't be taxing them as that.
Assessor doesn't really negotiate. It's not really what assessors do.
Well, okay, I won't go there, but we did. We worked with you guys on it, on some of it as well. So I think it's difficult because if we want development to happen, we can't expect to be taxing people for property that's, as it's considered a lot when there's no improvements done on it. That's the struggle.
Yeah. Gary, all right, so do we have a motion?
Yeah, I made a motion to approve the preliminary plat to the village board with the conditions 1 through 6 as stated on page 99.
All right, so we have a motion by Gern. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jordan. On the question. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming and voicing your concerns. Thank you. Item number 11, work order number 21, comprehensive plan vision and direction update.
All right, so we are in the process of working on next year's budget for the next 2 years. And so we are bringing forward phase 2 of the comprehensive plan visions and directions volume. So that'll be kind of the meat of the project right now. Last year, we went forward and had work order 20, which was phase 1, which is our conditions and issues. So basically right now we have a draft volume of the conditions and issues that staff is currently going through and reviewing. And then we also have the draft survey, which we are now talking about releasing after the first of the year due to the bike ped plan survey that's going to be going out here in the next month. So this project is kind of phasing back a little bit just because of the amount of work that we've had. So I have just started reviewing the conditions and issues, but we would be jumping into starting to work on the visions and directions. And so I'm bringing that scope of services before you to find out if this meets your expectations for the process. It's very similar to what we did the last time. We will have meetings. We'll probably try to, just because this tends to be a little bit more heavier topics, try to do this at times when your meeting agendas are lighter, not like a tonight agenda. But basically, Mark Roffers, we would be working with him again, facilitating some meetings with the Plan Commission and board, some stakeholder and small group meetings that we would determine. He has done a number of other projects with us, so he has a lot of ties to different people, and business owners, landowners, and then basically we would conduct an open house and then have a web page, kind of a website, kind of collecting some of that information to, or pushing that information out to the public once we have it. So the overall scope is in your packet. And most likely this is going to take us 2 years to get through. with this one. So we'll start working on it next year, and have that draft done probably by the end of the year, early 27. And then going for the approvals and, on that, so. Thoughts?
I was looking at task number 2, facilitate commissioners board meeting. We will facilitate up to 4 in-person and 2 online meetings of the plan commission. So over 2 years, is 6 of those enough?
It should be. I think that's what we did the last time.
Okay. Anybody else have any concerns?
The last time we went through this process, we actually had a separate kind of workshop with the plan commission and the board, and it opened it up to the public. And it was kind of like it was one of those sticky notes type of sessions. I think we only had one person from the public that came, and he ended up becoming a plan commission member at a later time. But
Was it Gary?
no, Ted Banholzer.
Quit picking on me, Jamie. Hey, is there a possibility, will you have enough people if I jump off this call? Or is that a problem? Or do I need to stick on?
Joe is still on the call too, so
Yeah, we
we
should
still
be
have
fine.
4.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
So Joe's there still.
Joe, are you still with us?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Thanks for having my back, Joe.
See ya.
All right, well, aside from the question I asked, I didn't have any other comments, questions, or concerns on this, so if nobody has anything else on it.
So it is a lot of work, and I think Mark is the right person to help the staff, and relationship that they've developed, I think allows Mark to do this as probably as economically as he can. And to start over with somebody else or some other way wouldn't make any sense to me at all.
I would tend to agree that there's a lot of intrinsic knowledge in working with Mark that is going to be hard to replicate by switching to somebody else.
You're looking for a motion?
I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve work order number 21, comprehensive plan, vision and direction.
So we have a motion.
I'll second.
Seconded by Jordan on the question. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? So carried. Item number 12, August 2025, staff approved certified survey maps and site plans.
Looks like 2. That's back on.
What's your pleasure?
So move to acknowledge.
Motion to acknowledge item number 12.
Second.
Seconded by Hoffman. On the question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Hi.
Opposed? So carried. Item number 13, August 2025 building permits.
The item is in the packet on page 117. Which gives us our monthly totals for August and our year-to-date totals.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
So we have a motion by Jordan, seconded by Hoffman. We still trending significantly upwards
Yes.
over last previous years.
A lot, yeah.
Okay.
Double the houses as of today from last year.
Yeah, and there's still several that we've had talked to individuals about that are submitting probably this month, so. I mean, I don't want to forecast too far, but we've still got quite a few months of building left, so it's definitely in the positive.
Good to hear. So we had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, August Planning and Development Department Project Update Report.
My report's in the packet. I just want to, I guess, talk a little bit about the assistant associate planner position. We did have 5 phone interviews last week. We are looking to bring 3 of those applicants in for in-person interviews. Not next, I think late next week. I think we have 1 right now on the 19th.
I just got an email from another one, so.
Okay, so in the next few weeks, and we hope to then have someone on board here probably sometime in October. So we've got a couple good applicants, 3 good ones.
It's real encouraging to hear. I know you guys have been super busy all summer long, so thank you for all that you do and look forward to having somebody else come on board that can help you guys out.
Amen.
Anybody have any questions on the August Planning and Development Department Project Update Report? I think we just need a motion to acknowledge.
Motion to acknowledge.
Motion by Deason,
Second.
seconded by Hoffman. Anything on the question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 15, announcements and commissioner remarks. Mr. Jordan, you have anything?
I just want to tell Jen that I really appreciate the work that she's done on the project updates. I have actually read through all of that, and the good news is I really don't have many questions.
Do you have anything?
Nothing.
Dave? I don't have anything else to add. Any announcements that we need to be aware of? Okay. Next regular meeting date, Monday, October 13th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Future agenda items or staff referrals. Does anybody have anything that they would like to discuss or anything they want staff to look at?
So we're hoping to have a draft of a few zoning ordinance changes. We'll be bringing back the greenhouse section. And then we sat down with Mark Roffers to discuss the pods, the storage containers, and gave him some direction on that, on what you guys wanted to see. He understands that. We also talked to him about the chicken ordinance. So there may be some changes we're gonna bring forward just based on some new things we've learned about chickens over the last 2 years. And then he's also looking into, I don't even know how you would put it, hobbit houses?
Yeah.
Storm shelter type things, underground storm shelters. We have someone in the town
yes.
of Weston that is, would like to put in something like that, so. He's looking at some ordinances in some other areas. He thinks they have something in Madison to handle that, so. We will be bringing some things back to you next month to discuss and look at.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Please.
Motion by Deason, seconded by Hoffman. On the question, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. We are adjourned 8:03 p.m. Thank you, everyone.